The Nazi Olympics of 1936, a stage for power, propaganda, and pride. Berlin, 1936. The world gathered under the shadow of the swastika for what would become one of the most controversial and politically charged Olympic Games in history.
Ich verkünde die Spiele von Berlin als eröffnet.
The Nazi regime under Adolf Hitler seized this moment not just to showcase athletic prowess, but to broadcast their ideology to the world. This is the story of the 1936 Olympics, a spectacle where sports became propaganda, where heroes emerged, and where the darkness behind the scenes could not be ignored. When the International Olympic Committee awarded the 1936 Summer Olympics to Berlin in 1931, the world was a different place. The Nazis hadn't yet risen to power, but by the time the Games arrived, Adolf Hitler was firmly in control, and he saw the Olympics as a golden opportunity. The Reich's leaders poured immense resources into making the Berlin Olympics the most impressive spectacle ever witnessed. Modern sports facilities, the grandest Olympic village, and the latest broadcasting technology were all part of the show. The opening ceremony on August 1st was a display of Nazi pageantry. Hitler presided over the event, and the Olympic torch was carried from Greece to Germany for the first time, a tradition that still continues. However, the grandeur masked a sinister reality. Behind the scenes, Hitler was already orchestrating the oppression of Jews and other minorities who were barred from participating in the Games. The stadium was packed with spectators and athletes, but the Jewish citizens of Berlin were conspicuously absent. As the world watched, many nations debated boycotting the Games. How could the free world participate in an event hosted by a regime that openly violated human rights? But despite the moral dilemmas, only a few athletes stayed home. For most, the Olympic spirit prevailed, and they came to compete. The United States, the United Kingdom, France, and others sent full delegations, hoping that their presence would be a defiant act against Nazi oppression. In the end, over 49 nations competed, but tensions were high. The British and American teams faced criticism for marching past Hitler with a stiff-arm salute, which they claimed was not intended to mirror the Nazi salute. Meanwhile, the French team, with their own history of political turbulence, grappled with the morality of their participation. Enter Jesse Owens, the African-American track and field athlete who would shatter Hitler's myth of Aryan supremacy. Owens dominated the Games, 4 gold medals in the 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, and 4x100 meter relay. His victories were not just athletic triumphs, they were symbolic blows against Nazi ideology. Owens' success infuriated Hitler, who famously refused to shake his hand. But for Owens, the glory was bittersweet. Despite his heroism, he returned to a segregated America where he was still treated as a second-class citizen.
There was very definitely a spatial feeling in winning the gold medal and being a black man. Because here I was doing something, and particularly this particular event had not been won by an American in 24 years. So, that was won by a white man, not a black man. So I was very proud of that fact, very proud of that achievement, and I was very happy for myself as an individual, for my race, and for my country.
Now, you had started to mention something about auxiliaries. What's that about?
Well, after the Olympic Games were over, I think it was published. It must have been published in the German publication, the German newspapers, that Hitler made the remark that if it wasn't for the black auxiliary, the American would not have won the Olympics. That's what I heard. And I didn't read it, but I heard that was a remark that he made, you see.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, it made me feel good, because what we did, we destroyed his master race theory. It made me feel very good. Because, he had that master race theory that, the superior race, that only the pure Germans could do certain things in this world. That was what he was advocating. But we destroyed his theory whenever we start winning those gold medals.
The 1936 Olympics featured 19 sports, including athletics, boxing, cycling, fencing, gymnastics, rowing, and more. The competition was fierce, with countries vying not just for medals, but for national pride. Germany topped the medal table, winning a total of 89 medals, 33 of them gold. The United States followed with 56 medals, including 24 golds, thanks in large part to athletes like Jesse Owens. France managed to secure 19 medals, and the United Kingdom took home 14. While the world marveled at the athletic achievements and the spectacle of the event, a darker reality unfolded behind the scenes. Hitler's propaganda machine was in full operation, portraying Germany as a peaceful and progressive nation. Yet, as the Olympic spectacle captivated global attention, the Nazi regime was quietly tightening its grip. Jews were being sent to concentration camps, and the seeds of the Holocaust were being sown. One of the most curious aspects of the 1936 Olympics was Hitler's behavior during the events. Reports from the time describe him as being unusually jittery, rocking back and forth in his seat. Some historians speculate that this was due to the early stages of drug use, possibly methamphetamine, which would later become widespread among Nazi leadership and troops. The Games concluded, but the legacy of the Nazi Olympics was far from over. It was a chilling preview of the propaganda and psychological warfare that would define World War II. The 1936 Olympics showed the world the dark potential of using sports as a tool for political manipulation. As we look back on those games, we see not just the triumphs and the records, but the ominous shadow that would soon engulf the world.